Though one of you challenged me one day and said, Randy, why aren't you putting up your predictions and then keeping track of what you get right and what you get wrong? And that way we can all get some idea of whether or not you're, really a crazy Uber bull or just a Uber bull who once in a while gets it right or commonly gets it wrong or whatever, somewhere in between. So I thought about that for a minute and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's too much trouble, too much work. And then I thought, okay, realistically, I suppose that makes sense. So I'm going to do it. All right. So this is Randy Kirk. If you like the fact that I'm going to expose myself to the entire crowd out there, hit like. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'm trying to figure out why not, and then hit notify because you want to get that morning report every day when the market opens. You want to hear more from Brian White and from Larry Goldberg and from Brian Wong. He'll be back from Japan soon, so we can, start hitting him up. Anyway, all right. And of course, Patreon. Thank you so much for all of those who are supporting me on Patreon. It is fantastic. I appreciate it. So this morning, let's just start off here. This morning, I said that Tesla will get to 300 by next Wednesday. And that in order to do that, all we needed to do was go up $5.50 per day to get there. So today it went up $5.91. So, is that a prediction gotten right, or I'm off by 41 cents? Or to be honest with you, I had no idea what it would go up today, but it's just kind of funny that it worked out that way. Well, so then earlier this month, I had the second best number on shipments for the second quarter. I came in at 460. Only Brian White, one of our favorite people on this channel, beat me. He was at 469,000 ballpark. There was a bunch of other numbers in there, but roughly. So he was about 3,000 over. I was about 6,000 under. We were number one and number two among all of the Tesla YouTubers and Twitter folks and everybody else that were making predictions. So those are a couple of examples of my capability to predict. But now let's take a look at some of the bigger things. I think I was also completely alone at predicting the beginning of this run-up that we've just had. Back a few months ago, you can go back and look at my YouTube back before the 217 level. I was saying, okay, when we break 217, which I think we will do, we're going to go all the way to 300 with no real resistance. Well, we're not quite to 300 yet, but we've basically gone from 217 to 280, 285 with almost no real resistance. And even the resistance we've gotten around 285 has not been significant. And if we had 300 before or even after the earnings meeting next week, I think that prediction will have been true. Now, I will say I have also said that we will go, once we break through that 305 level, there's no resistance to 400, but there will need to be some kind of news to get us to 400. That could be really good news in terms of shipments or deliveries or some, news that we're not even expecting. It could be the Cybertruck announcement. It could be the Model 3 refresh announcement. There's all kinds of things that could happen between now and the third quarter earnings report that could get us going really close to 400 by that report. But then if the report comes in well, I think we'll be going past 400, getting close to, or maybe even a little bit above 400, maybe to all-time highs. Certainly no later than the end of the first quarter, we'll be hitting that all-time high. And then going beyond that to 700 by the end of 2024, assuming only cars and energy and normal stuff. We'll talk about that later. Let's get back. Let's go by predictions here one at a time. I've got 20 of them. I know you're going to have to sit down, grab yourself some popcorn. This is not going to be something that's going to take a minute. This is going to take a while. So number one, Tesla Megapacks will be a major contributor. This is in the book, the Elon Musk mission. If you haven't bought it yet, why not? Okay. Page 237 of the Elon Musk mission said that the Tesla Megapacks will be a major contributor in 2023 and eventually become as big as the car business, which Elon Musk, of course, said. I was just quoting him. I would say that I said that the profit will be $5 billion by Q4 2023. That is much too high. There was something wrong there. I'm not sure exactly what. I didn't go back and find out what I did wrong. The actual number will be around $1.5 billion if fully ramped. It might be a little less than that, maybe closer to 1 billion, because there are these bookkeeping issues in terms of the timing. So somewhere between 1 and 1.5 billion. Now, what is that? What is it about this particular prediction? I was the first person to make any kind of prediction about the ramping of Lathrop. Nobody else was talking about it. It's in the book. If you don't own the book, you can get the book. Go to page number 237, and you can get you can see what I did there. Okay, in the book also, I would say that. Well, I'm sorry, this was not in the book. That'll be later. So number 2, Optimus will do useful tasks in 2023. That means useful tasks in the factory, something that could be sold. You could sell the robot to go out and do tasks. And 3, that Tesla would build 1,000 of them by hand in 2023 to use in training and in the Tesla factory. Now, if you follow this channel, you know I've said this over and over. I've had all kinds of guests on my show where we've discussed these numbers. This is a number that I've thrown out 1,000,000 times. Now, let me say something to you, just between us friends. When I said 1,000, that's kind of a number to throw in there. It's a nice round number. Hey, I'd be thrilled if it was 500. It would be exciting if it was 250. I was trying to say they are going to make a lot of these robots, because the more robots they make, the more they're going to be able to train. Just like the cars, the more cars you have out there, you've got more training, you've got more data coming into the data center so that they can make these robots better and better and better at what they do. I think 1,000 would be smart. I don't have any reason in the world. I can't imagine a reason why they wouldn't do up to 1,000 or even more, because they're inexpensive to build. I don't know why they would do fewer. They might do fewer. They might never give us the number that they actually did. All I'm saying is that's how I came to the number. It's going to be a whole bunch. And if it's 1,000, great. So that's my prediction. And that they'll be doing useful tasks. I think they're doing useful tasks in the factory right now. Somebody asked the other day, do you think they're equivalent to a human? And I think, yeah, I think they're already doing tasks in the factory, or will be by the end of this year. They will be doing many, many, many tasks in the factory that will be the equivalent of a human by the hour. In other words, if somebody picks up something, moves it over and lays it down, and they have to repeat that task over and over again, the robot will be able to do it exactly as well as, if not better than, a human. All right. So number 4, Tesla will go into full production on Optimus in 2024 and build 1 million units in 2025 and begin to lease them to any companies. I actually said in many cases on this channel that they would take applications at first to ensure that they had solid opportunities for success and to help grow the knowledge base for the bots. But on page 258 of the Elon Musk mission, have you bought the Elon Musk mission? Anyway, on 258 of the Elon Musk mission, I said that they would be building 1 million of these in 2025. Well, on this channel, again, if you follow this channel, I've said many times, I think they'll build 1 million in 2024. So I upped my estimation, and now I'm kind of in between. I'm thinking they still could easily build 1 million. I really believe they could easily set up production and make 1 million of these in 2024 rather. But my current prediction is going to be that they will have a run rate of 1 million by the end of 2024, and they will make more than 1 million of them in 2025. So that's my current prediction. All right, number 5. I predicted in the book again that Optimus would cost around $6,000. And then separately, I've made numerous predictions that it will lease out at least $50,000 per year. So those are a couple of predictions. And that is how I get to the massive amount of earnings that will come from Optimus, not in 2027, not in 2030, but rather starting next year. Okay, number 6, my total shipment number for 2023 was originally 2.35 million. As the year progressed, and it was a tough year for the economy, and it looked like some things were taking a little longer than expected, I reviewed that number and I reduced it to 2.1. And lately, I'm starting to think we might not quite get to 2.1, but I do think we will do over 2 million. I still believe we will produce over 2 million and we will ship over 2 million. I'll refine that number more as we get closer to the end of the year, but that is my current number. We'll see if I do okay. Number 7, I predicted that Tesla will sell 1 million large trucks per year by 2030. Now, that's going to take us a long time to find out, but a lot of stuff would have to happen between now and 2030 to see if I'm on track. So one would be if Elon Musk comes out and says, look, we plan to build 1 million large trucks by 2030, or we expect to have 25% market share for large trucks by 2030, or blah, blah, blah. Or they start, I've now been told by Brian White, he says the facility in Reno will be designed to produce 100,000 a year, not the 50,000 that I was thinking when Elon Musk said they would have it up to 50,000. So he's saying, no, it'll be designed for 100,000. So getting to 1 million, not that hard. All right, number 8. I've recently said that I think there will be 2-tiered pricing for FSD. Nobody has said this yet. If you've seen anybody else say this, would you please send me some kind of a link or something? I think there's going to be 2-tiered pricing because there are people that will not want to lease out their car or put their car on the Robotaxi system. We'll talk about what percentage I think is going to do that. I think there'll be a very large percentage of people that aren't going to want people messing in their car, making mess, creating problems with their car, coming back and not being able. Anyway, I think there's going to be a big percentage of the people that will not want to put their car out to the Robotaxi system, and they're not going to want to pay $60,000 or $70,000 or $80,000 for FSD. They're going to want FSD, but they're not going to pay that number. So there will have to be 2-tiered pricing. Maybe $10,000 if you don't want to be on the app, and maybe it is $100,000 if you want to be on the app. I believe that's going to happen. I don't believe anybody else has said that. All right, number 9. The percentage I think is going to be around 20 to 30% maximum that will be interested in putting their car out. The reason I believe that, and I think I'll be doing a video on this in more depth, I believe that what people have missed on this is that it's only going to cost you 15 to 20 cents a mile to own a Tesla FSD. If I'm right about 2-tiered pricing, it's only going to cost you 15 or 20 cents a mile to own a car. Yes, you might want to earn $70,000 or $80,000 a year on your car, but if it's only 15 to 20 cents a mile to own it and have it be yours, and you don't need to put it out to rent, and you don't really need that income, or you don't care about it, and you don't want people messing with your car, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say, no, I love owning a car. I'm going to keep owning a car. And that's another thing that's going to happen, which I think is going to surprise everybody, is people will continue to own cars, not give up their car, and just take robotaxis everywhere, because at 15 cents a mile, why not? Okay. We'll go into that in more detail later. Number 10. That was number 10. Number 10. Sales will continue to be brisk for owned cars into the 30s because people will continue to want to own their cars. Okay. Number 11. I believe that Dojo as a service will be rolled out in 2024. I believe that Elon Musk wants to. I believe that he gave him, his quirky smile when he was talking about maybe I will, maybe I won't. I think he's totally intending to put Dojo as a service out there. So that's my prediction. Number 12, Tesla will spin off one of its divisions in 2025, probably the superchargers. Okay. So you guys, if you follow my channel, you know I'm always talking about spinning off some of these smaller divisions. The supercharger division is probably going to make like $10 billion a year or $7 billion a year someday. It's going to be a great moneymaker, but compared to Dojo as a service and semi-trucks and energy and robotaxis and Optimus and even the sexy cars, it's going to be a minor player. And everybody's going to be looking at Tesla for Europe, China, the whole world is going to be going, these guys are a monopoly and they need to, it's too big. And so I think the one thing that will most look like a utility is going to be the Robotaxi network. And I think they will spin that off. And that'll be a good thing for you and me, because the value of how it's looked at as a spinoff is going to be way higher than the amount is valued as part of Tesla. Anyway, that's number 13. I think they'll spin off something. It could be insurance. It could be anything. It could be their used car division. Who knows? But I think they'll be spinning things off starting in 2025, and maybe every year there'll be something spun off. Okay, number 13. Tesla will hit all-time high by the Q1 of 2024. I kind of mentioned that above. 700 by the end of year 2024. So those are my main predictions. That is just what we have now. So cars, Cybertruck, semis rolling out, more numbers than they are now by the end of 2024. Some more numbers, not huge numbers yet. Energy storage, etc., solar, all of that together, just that, plus a better market, and we will be at 700 by the end of 2024. Now, if Robotaxi or Optimus are revealed, and that's going to be a thing in 2024, anytime in 2024 that's announced, I'm going to make a prediction in a minute, but I have really no idea what the stock goes to. All right, more immediate predictions. Tesla to 300 by the end of trading day on July 19th. So that's number 15. Number 16's on earnings day, the auto margins will be at 21%, give or take. But I'll call it 21, and I'll take my lumps if somebody says it was 20 and a half and they were right and I'm off by a little bit. But anyway, around 21. It's not going to be 18. It's not going to, I heard as low as 15. It's not going to be 19. I think it's going to be 21, and I have all my reasons. I've talked about it over and over and over again on the show, so you already know what those are. Okay, and then earnings non-GAAP at $1.06 and GAAP at 96. Now I'm way over everybody else. Why? I'm way over everybody else because I think auto margins are going to come in at 21%, and I think energy income will be more than people are expecting. All right. Big new predictions, 2 big new predictions. You've heard it here first. In number 18, full self-driving will be solved by the end of year 2024. I know that's not very brave. I know I should probably make that, by mid-year 2024 or something. But for now, I'm going to be not very brave. I only know one person that's made any kind of, well, no, there are people that are kind of rolling their eyes and going, yeah, probably by this or that or the other. No, I'm making a firm prediction. Robotaxi and FSD both. Number 19, Robotaxi rolled out by the end of year 2024, both of those. So probably FSD a little earlier, like halfway through the year. That's not a prediction. And then Robotaxi by the end of the year. I figure it'll be a couple of months between those two events. But yes, all of it done, ready to go, flying out the door, and all of us getting rich. Okay, number 20, if the predictions about FSD and Robotaxi and Optimus are correct, the stock is going to hit something like 3,000 by the end of next year, or whenever these announcements are made. I mean, if the Optimus announcement could be made, I would say even as early as AI Day 3 at the end of September, no, end of October, they could announce Optimus. They could say, hey, here it is. It does these 20 functions or these 100 functions. Here they are. Here they are in the factory. Here they're doing the thing. Look, they do it fine. They do it all day long. They can do it all day and all night. We're going to lease them out for $50,000 a year, and we're taking orders. And the stock is going to go crazy. Now, it may not get to 3,000 in a week. It may take a couple of months to get to. And then if they add FSD and Robotaxi, it's going to be 3,000 next year. I don't know when. That might not even be the number. It could be higher than that. And this is unexpected. This is where you have information that nobody else has. This is where you become wealthy playing the stock market because you have more information than the street does, and that information allows you to play unfairly. It's like inside information that's legal. All right, I'm going to copy this entire script and put it in the description below. So if you want to copy it and check the progress, great. I'll put it up in the Patreon also. So if you want to join Patreon, it'll be up there, and I'll do more check marking on that in Patreon. So, I have 3 unique videos now up in Patreon. I'll be putting more unique stuff up in there, maybe about some of the things we just talked about. So right now it's free to join Patreon. You can see all 3 videos that are up there. They are still absolutely current and still make sense. I even did one on how to play leaps if you're interested in that. So join Patreon. It's free for 7 days. And then after that, it's a whole $5 a month. And if you don't get your $5 a month worth the first month, just quit. I think you'll find that it's worth $5 a month. So anyway, I'll put all that down below. And then if you like this, hit like. And if you haven't subscribed, do that, and hit notify if you want to be sure that every time. Well, Brian and I are going to do something Saturday morning that's going to be a ton of fun. He's going to do I did an interview where he's interviewing me. That's going to be on, I think it's 6 a.m., roughly 6 a.m. And then as soon as that one's over, I interviewed him on exactly the same questions, and that'll follow immediately after the other one, and you'll be able to hear his responses. So it's like a serial debate. No, we're not debating about Cheerios. No, I mean, it's one anyway. So hit notify if you want to be reminded to watch those two. Be sure and watch them in order so you can see how many times I was right and he was wrong. Yeah, I think that covers everything about today's video. And as usual, it's been phenomenal talking to you today.